Reuniting with Capitu felt like stepping into sunlight after weeks of rain. For a brief moment, the world seemed brighter, warmer. I was determined to keep my promise, to choose her, to silence the doubts that had nearly torn us apart. We began to rebuild what had been broken. Our stolen moments in the garden became more precious, our conversations more honest. I told her about my fears, my struggles with my mother and José Diaz, and the whispers that had planted seeds of suspicion in my mind. "I don't care what they say," she told me one evening, her eyes fierce with conviction. "What matters is what you believe, Bento. Do you trust me?" "I do," I said, and in that moment I meant it, but trust once shaken is not easily restored. The doubts didn't vanish. They lingered in the corners of my mind, waiting for the slightest opportunity to resurface. My mother, for her part, didn't make things easy. Though she never openly forbade my relationship with Capitu, her disapproval was evident in every word, every glance. "You're a grown man," she said one day, her tone icy. "You can make your own choices. But don't come crying to me when they lead to ruin." Her words stung, but I refused to let them sway me. I was determined to prove her wrong, to show her that Capitu and I could build a life together despite her doubts. Capitu, too, felt the strain. Though she tried to hide it, I could see the toll it took on her to be the subject of so much scrutiny and judgment. "They'll never accept me," she said one evening, her voice heavy with resignation. "They don't have to," I said, taking her hand. "As long as we have each other, that's all that matters." But even as I said it, I couldn't help but wonder if it was true. Could we really build a life together in the face of so much opposition? One day, José Diaz approached me with an air of smug satisfaction. "Your mother has been speaking to a matchmaker," he said, his tone dripping with insinuation. I felt a surge of anger. "What are you talking about?" "She wants to find you a proper wife," he said, "someone who will bring honor to the family, not scandal." I clenched my fists, struggling to keep my temper in check. "Tell her to stop. I've made my choice." "Have you?" he asked, his voice low and insidious. "Because from where I stand, it seems like you're still not sure." His words hit a nerve, and I hated him for it. But I hated myself more for the flicker of doubt they ignited. That night, as I lay awake in bed, the doubts returned with a vengeance. I thought about Capitu, about her beauty, her charm, her cleverness. These were the qualities that had drawn me to her, but now they seemed like weapons that could be turned against me. I hated myself for thinking this way, but I couldn't stop. The whispers of others had become a voice in my own mind, and it was growing louder with each passing day. The next morning, I went to see Capitu. She greeted me with a smile, but it faltered when she saw the look on my face. "What's wrong?" she asked, her brow furrowing in concern. "Nothing," I said, but my voice lacked conviction. "Don't lie to me, Bento," she said, her voice firm. "I can see it in your eyes. You're doubting me again, aren't you?" I didn't answer, and the silence was all the confirmation she needed. She stepped closer, her eyes searching mine. "I've done everything I can to prove my love for you," she said, her voice trembling with emotion. "But it's never enough, is it? No matter what I do, you'll always doubt me." "That's not true," I said, though even as I said it, I knew it wasn't entirely honest, "isn't it?" she asked, her voice breaking. "Bento, I love you, but I can't spend the rest of my life fighting for a place in your heart. If you can't trust me, then what's the point?" Her words cut deep, and for the first time, I realized how much my doubts had hurt her. "I'm sorry," I said, my voice barely above a whisper. "I don't know why I feel this way. I don't want to doubt you, but you do," she said, finishing the sentence for me. We stood there in silence, the weight of unspoken words hanging between us. I wanted to reach out to her, to tell her that I would change, that I would banish the doubts once and for all. But the words wouldn't come. Love without trust is like a house built on sand, beautiful, but fragile. In the next chapter, I'll tell you how these cracks in our foundation began to widen, leading to a series of events that would change everything. Don't miss it.